"Don't you dare walk away from me," I shouted, my voice bouncing off the walls of our neighborhood bar. My brother Kevin froze, beer halfway to his lips. The entire place went silent. 20 people staring, nobody breathing. "You really thought I wouldn't find out?" I stepped closer, my hands shaking. My own brother and my wife, in my house, in my bed. Kevin set his beer down slowly. His friends at the table looked between us, confused. "Matt, let's take this outside," he muttered, not meeting my eyes. "Why?" "Scared all your buddies will find out you've been screwing your brother's wife while he works night shifts at the hospital?" My voice cracked. I didn't care. The bartender stepped forward. "Guys, 3 months." I slammed my hand on the table. 3 months you've been living under my roof, eating my food, using my Netflix, and this is how you thank me?" Kevin stood up, hands raised. "Matt, please, you're drunk. This isn't the place." "I'm not drunk. I'm finally seeing clearly." I pulled out my phone, held it up. "Should I show everyone the video from my security camera? The one I installed last week? The one that shows you crawling out of my bedroom half naked while Amy's still in our bed yesterday at 2:17 p.m.? His face drained of color. "You were the best man at my wedding, Kevin." My voice dropped to almost a whisper. "You held the Bible we swore our vows on." Someone whispered, "Holy shit." "You have until tomorrow to get your stuff out of my house," I said quietly. "After that, anything left gets burned." I turned and walked out, ignoring the murmurs behind me. In my car, I gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. Instead, I made a call. Because burning his clothes was just the beginning. Kevin and I weren't always like this. Growing up in Cleveland, we were just 2 years apart, inseparable as kids. We built snow forts together. Played Little League on the same team. Had each other's backs when neighborhood bullies came around. I met Amy during my second year of nursing school. She worked at the campus coffee shop. Beautiful, funny, smart. Way out of my league, I thought. But somehow she liked me back. We dated for 3 years before I proposed. Kevin was the obvious choice for best man. At the wedding, he gave this speech about how I'd always been his hero. How I'd inspired him to go to trade school. How he hoped to find a love like Amy and I had someday. To my big brother and his beautiful bride, he'd said, raising his glass, "May your life together be as solid as Matt's character always has been." Everyone clapped. Amy squeezed my hand under the table. After nursing school, I landed a good job at Cleveland General. Night shifts were brutal, but the pay was decent. Amy worked as a third-grade teacher. We saved for 3 years and bought our first house. Nothing fancy, just a 3-bedroom ranch in the suburbs, but it was ours. Kevin bounced between construction jobs. He was skilled, could fix anything, but had trouble with authority. Every few months there'd be some blow-up with a foreman or client. He'd quit or get fired, then crash on friends' couches until the next gig. When COVID hit, Amy started teaching from home. I worked longer shifts at the hospital, sometimes 16 hours straight. Coming home to her was the only thing that kept me going during those dark days. Kevin lost his apartment when his roommates moved out. He called me, desperate, voice cracking like when we were kids and he'd broken Mom's favorite vase. "It's just temporary, Matt," he promised, "just until I get back on my feet." Amy hesitated when I brought it up. "I don't know, Matt. The house isn't that big." "He's family," I said. "We can't let him be homeless." She nodded, squeezed my arm. "You're right. You're always taking care of everyone. It's why I love you." That was 3 months ago. 3 months of me pulling night shifts while they were home together. 3 months of coming back exhausted, noticing little things. Kevin using my coffee mug. Amy wearing perfume around the house. Both of them suddenly quiet when I walked in the room. Looking back, I should have seen it. The way she'd ask about my schedule. The way their laughter would stop when I entered a room. How they both started taking afternoon naps around the same time. But I trusted them. Completely. Blindly. Have you ever experienced that gut feeling that something's wrong in your relationship? That intuition we often ignore until it's too late? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Last week, I caught Amy texting late at night, smiling at her phone. When I asked who it was, she said, "Just work stuff." My gut twisted with doubt. The next day, I bought a small security camera, set it up in our bedroom while they were both out. I didn't expect to actually find anything. I just needed peace of mind. Then yesterday, I checked the footage during my lunch break at the hospital, and my entire world collapsed. The break room at Cleveland General was empty at 2 a.m. Just me, my lukewarm coffee, and my phone. I'd been avoiding checking the camera footage for 2 days, afraid of what I might see. Even more afraid of finding nothing and feeling like a paranoid jerk. I opened the security app, typed in the password, scrolled to yesterday afternoon, 2:05 p.m. 2:05 p.m. Amy should have been grading papers. Kevin should have been at a job interview he'd mentioned. The footage loaded, our empty bedroom, then the door opened. Amy walked in first, followed by Kevin. She was laughing at something he said. They stood close, too close. "Are you sure Matt won't be home?" Kevin asked, his hand already on her waist. "He's on shift until tomorrow morning," Amy replied. "We have plenty of time." Then they were kissing. Not a first kiss, not hesitant or new. This was practiced, familiar. The realization hit me like a physical blow. This had been going on for weeks. I wanted to look away but couldn't. On the screen, they moved to our bed. The bed I'd spent an entire Saturday assembling while Kevin watched football in the living room. The bed where Amy and I had talked about starting a family someday. My coffee cup slipped from my hand, spilling across the break room table. I didn't move to clean it up. On screen, Amy unbuttoned Kevin's shirt, the shirt I'd lent him last week because he said he didn't have anything nice enough for interviews. "Nurse Rodriguez?" A voice from the doorway. "We need you in room 412. I locked my phone screen, nodded mechanically, coming. For the next 6 hours, I worked on autopilot, checked IVs, administered meds, recorded vitals, my body performing the tasks while my mind replayed those images in an endless loop. At the end of my shift, Dr. Patel stopped me in the hallway. "Matt, are you all right? You seem distracted tonight." "I'm fine," I lied, "just tired." "Get some rest," he said, patting my shoulder. I didn't go home. I drove to Lake Erie instead, parked at the empty beach lot. Rain pelted my windshield as I unlocked my phone again, forced myself to watch more. Their voices filtered through my car speakers. "God, Amy, you're incredible," Kevin groaned. "Shh," she giggled. "The neighbors might hear." "Let them," he said. "I'm tired of sneaking around." Amy's expression changed. "You know we can't tell Matt. It would destroy him." Kevin sat up slightly. "He's my brother. I love him, but I love you too. We can't keep doing this forever." "I know." Amy sighed. "I just need more time to figure out how to tell him. He's been so good to both of us." "That's what makes this so fucked up," Kevin admitted. "Do you want to stop?" Amy asked, her voice small. Kevin pulled her closer. "No, I can't. Not now." I turned it off, my stomach heaving, stumbled out of my car into the rain, bent over and vomited onto the wet pavement. They were planning to tell me, planning to blow up my life like it was nothing. And they felt bad about it, just not bad enough to stop. I drove to a hotel near the hospital, checked in with soaking clothes and dead eyes. The desk clerk looked concerned but didn't ask questions. In the sterile room, I lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling. My phone buzzed with a text from Amy. "Hope your shift is going okay. Love you." 3 years of marriage, a lifetime of brotherhood. All of it lies. I called my supervisor, told her I needed a few days off. Family emergency. She didn't ask questions. Everyone at the hospital knew I rarely took time off. Then I texted Amy, "Working a double, be home tomorrow afternoon." Her reply came instantly. "Miss you. Stay safe." I laughed until I cried, then cried until I had nothing left. When the sun came up, I drove to the neighborhood bar where Kevin and his construction buddies hung out after work. I knew he'd be there tonight. He always went on Fridays, whether he had a job or not. I sat in the parking lot all day planning what I'd say, what I'd do. By the time evening came, I wasn't sad anymore. I wasn't even angry. I was cold, precise, deadly calm. I walked into that bar at 7:03 p.m. with nothing left to lose. After the bar confrontation, I didn't go home. I checked into the same hotel for another night, turned off my phone, stared at the wall for hours. By morning, I had 27 missed calls, 12 from Amy, 8 from Kevin, 5 from my parents, 2 from numbers I didn't recognize. I listened to one voicemail from Amy, her voice breaking. "Matt, please come home. We need to talk. What you saw? It's not. I mean, it is, but please just call me back." I deleted the rest without listening. My parents' message was worse. "Matthew, it's Mom. Kevin told us what happened. We're all very upset. This kind of public scene doesn't help anyone. Call us back so we can figure out how to fix this. As a family." Fix this. As a family. Like I was the problem. I showered, put on yesterday's clothes, and drove to work. Not for a shift, for answers. Dr. Patel found me in the staff lounge, staring at cold coffee. "Matt, I thought you were taking time off. I need to ask you something," I said. "The promotion to head nurse at Sacramento General. Is it still available?" His eyebrows shot up. "Yes, but I thought you weren't interested in relocating." "I am now." He studied my face. "This is sudden." "Life is sudden, Doc." I attempted a smile. "Can you put me in contact with their HR department today?" He nodded slowly. "Of course." I spent 2 hours on the phone with Sacramento General, accepting their offer, arranging temporary housing. Then I called our bank. "I'd like to discuss removing someone from my joint accounts," I told the manager, my old buddy Steve. "Divorce?" he asked quietly. "Soon," he sighed. "Come in, we'll handle it." At the bank, I opened new accounts in my name only, transferred half of our savings, less than I was entitled to, but I wasn't trying to be vindictive, just separate. Protected. Next stop, a lawyer's office. The consultation was brief, brutal. "Classic infidelity case," she said, reviewing my evidence. "With the video, this should be straightforward. Ohio is a no-fault state, but judges do consider misconduct." "I don't want to destroy her," I clarified. "I just want out." She nodded. "We can file today, have papers served tomorrow." I hesitated. "Can we wait until Monday? I need to handle some things first." "Of course." Finally, I drove home. Our house sat quiet in the afternoon sun. No cars in the driveway. I entered using my key, half expecting the locks to be changed. The house smelled wrong. Stale coffee, takeout food, anxiety. I ignored the living room, where Amy had left several handwritten notes with my name on them. Went straight to our bedroom instead. They'd changed the sheets, aired out the room, tried to erase what happened. I opened my closet. Kevin's duffel bag was gone, along with most of his clothes. Good, at least he'd respected that boundary. I packed methodically. Clothes, toiletries, important documents, family photos, though I left any with Kevin in them. Under the bed, I found one of his socks, forgotten in their cleanup. I held it for a moment, then tossed it in the trash. As I carried my bags to the car, my neighbor Ted waved from his yard. "Everything okay, Matt? There was quite a commotion here yesterday." "Just fine," I lied, taking some stuff to donation. Back inside, I sat at our kitchen table and wrote a letter to Amy. Just facts, no emotions. I'd be staying elsewhere. Divorce papers coming Monday. The house was hers until we sorted things legally. I was almost finished when I noticed a bill on the counter. Kevin's cell phone on our family plan that I paid for. I picked it up, curious. Scrolled to the detailed call log. And that's when I discovered something that changed everything. The call log was like a roadmap of betrayal. Dozens of late-night calls between Kevin and Amy, dating back not 3 months, but 7. Long before he'd lost his apartment, before he'd needed a place to stay. They'd planned this, all of it. I photographed the bill with my phone, then set it back exactly where I'd found it. Added a final line to my letter. I know this started long before he moved in. After dropping off my letter, I drove to a different hotel. Paid cash, used the room's desk to spread out everything I knew and plan my next steps. First, I called Sacramento General and confirmed I could start in 3 weeks. The HR woman was surprised but accommodating. "We'll email the contract today. Housing assistance is included." Next, I texted my lawyer. "Moving forward with everything Monday, please prepare all documents." Then came the harder task. I placed my phone on the desk, stared at it for 10 full minutes, and finally called my father. "Matthew, thank God," he answered immediately. "Your mother and I have been so worried." "I'm sure Kevin told you his version already," I said, keeping my voice flat. "Son, I know you're upset, but public scenes and accusations don't solve anything. Kevin says you threatened him with some security footage? That's concerning behavior." I gripped the phone tighter. Did he tell you what was on that footage, Dad? He said you misunderstood some interaction between him and Amy. My father's voice had that familiar dismissive tone, the same one he'd used when Kevin crashed my car in high school and somehow I got blamed for pressuring him to drive. Dad, I have video evidence of my brother and my wife having sex in my bed while I was working to support all of us. Silence. Then, these situations are complicated, son. They're really not, I replied. But that's not why I called. I'm moving to Sacramento for a promotion. I'll need you and Mom to respect my privacy during this transition. Sacramento, you can't just run away. I'm not running. I'm advancing my career while removing myself from a toxic situation. My voice remained eerily calm. I've already spoken with a divorce attorney. Amy will be served papers on Monday. This feels very hasty. Have you considered counseling? Family mediation? Kevin is devastated. Kevin is welcome to keep my wife, I cut in, but he won't keep my dignity, my money, or my silent approval. My father sighed that martyred sigh I knew too well. Your mother will be heartbroken about Sacramento. I'll call her next week. Right now, I need space. After hanging up, I opened my laptop and began executing my plan methodically. First, I emailed our landlord, explaining I'd be breaking the lease but would cover penalties. I didn't mention why. Second, I contacted our shared credit card companies, removed myself as an authorized user, and opened new accounts. Third, I used the hotel printer to create a detailed timeline of Kevin and Amy's deception, attaching phone records, security footage screenshots, and text messages I'd recovered from our cloud backup. Building a case, piece by piece, not for court, but for truth. By midnight, I had everything organized. I sent a copy to my lawyer with instructions to use it if necessary, but to seek a clean, fair divorce if possible. I wasn't out for vengeance, just justice. The next morning, I reached out to Amy's parents. We'd always been close. They'd treated me like a son. This call would hurt, but they deserved to hear it from me, not the gossip mill. Matt? Her father answered, sounding worried. Amy's been trying to reach you. I know, Bob. I'm calling because I respect you and Linda too much to leave you in the dark. I explained everything calmly. The affair, the betrayal, my evidence, my plans to move. Silence followed. Then, I'm so sorry, son. We had no idea. I know. I just wanted you to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. What can we do? Linda asked, her voice joining the call. Just don't pick sides. This isn't about forcing people to choose between us. Bob cleared his throat. We raised her better than this. We'll be talking to her. Thank you, I said, genuinely moved. That means a lot. After hanging up, I made one final call to my supervisor at the hospital. I explained I'd accepted the Sacramento position and would work my remaining shifts professionally, despite my personal situation. The Cleveland nursing community is small, Matt. People will find out why you're leaving. I know. I just ask that it comes from my work, not my private life. Understood. And for what it's worth, I think you're handling this with remarkable grace. Grace wasn't what I felt inside, but externally I stayed composed, strategic, methodical. Kevin and Amy thought they'd broken me. What they didn't realize was they'd simply freed me to rebuild. On my terms, not theirs. Sometimes the hardest moments in our lives become the doorway to our greatest transformations. Follow for more stories about resilience, betrayal, and self-discovery. New chapters every week. My last week in Cleveland unfolded with surgical precision. I worked my shifts, packed my remaining possessions into a small U-Haul, and steadfastly ignored the mounting texts and calls. Amy came to the hospital once. Security escorted her out at my request. Please, Matt, just 5 minutes, she'd begged across the lobby, mascara streaking her cheeks. I kept walking, eyes forward. Kevin tried too, showing up at the hotel. The front desk turned him away. My lawyer served Amy the divorce papers on Monday morning, as promised. By Tuesday afternoon, local hospital gossip had spread the story. Colleagues treated me with awkward sympathy. A few nurses who'd never liked Amy brought me coffee. Dr. Patel checked on me daily. Still sure about Sacramento? He asked. More than ever, I replied. Thursday night was my department's monthly happy hour at O'Malley's. I almost skipped it, but something pulled me there. Maybe I wanted one last normal moment with people I'd worked alongside for years. I arrived late, nursed a single beer in the corner. Conversations hushed briefly when I entered, then resumed with forced enthusiasm. I appreciated the effort. An hour in, the door opened. Kevin walked in, scanning the room until he spotted me. My colleague Maria whispered, "Isn't that your brother?" I nodded, watching him approach. He looked terrible. Unshaven, wrinkled clothes, dark circles under his eyes. "Matt," he said, voice cracking, "please, 5 minutes." The bar quieted, everyone watching, waiting. I stood slowly. "There's nothing to talk about." "I love her, Matt." He blurted it like a confession. "I know that's the worst thing I could say right now, but it's true. We didn't mean for this to happen." My colleague's eyes widened. Some hadn't known the specific details until now. "You didn't mean to sleep with my wife in my bed while living under my roof?" My voice remained level. "Did you trip and fall into her repeatedly for 7 months?" Murmurs rippled through the bar. The 7-month timeline was news to everyone, including Kevin, who flinched. "How did you?" "Phone records," I said simply. "The affair started last October, before you conveniently lost your apartment in February." Kevin paled. "It wasn't like that." "Then enlighten me." I gestured to the crowd. "We're all curious." He lowered his voice. "Can we please do this privately?" "Why? You weren't private with my wife." Dr. Patel stepped forward. "Sir, I think you should leave." Kevin ignored him. "Matt, Mom and Dad are devastated. They keep asking why you won't talk to them, why you're running away to California." "Sacramento is a promotion," I corrected. "A significant one. Head nurse, 20% raise." "That's what this is about, money?" Kevin scoffed. "Always the responsible one, aren't you?" Something snapped inside me. Not rage, something colder. "You want to do this here? Fine." I pulled out my phone, opened the gallery. "Everyone, my brother wants to explain why I'm leaving Cleveland. Let me help with a visual aid." Kevin lunged for my phone. "Don't you dare." My colleague Jake, built like a linebacker, caught Kevin's arm mid-reach. I turned the phone toward the crowd, showing a screenshot from my security camera. Kevin and Amy entering my bedroom, his hand on her waist. Nothing explicit, just unmistakable. This is my brother and my wife entering my bedroom while I worked a double shift saving lives during COVID. I swiped to the next image. Kevin wearing my robe in my kitchen. This is him wearing my clothes, eating food I paid for, in the house where I let him stay because he claimed to be homeless. Kevin struggled against Jake's grip. "Matt, stop," I continued, voice steady. "What you all don't know is that my brother and wife started their affair 7 months ago. Then he orchestrated a plan to move into our house, told me he'd lost his apartment, all so they could be together while I worked nights." Gasps echoed through the bar. The bartender crossed her arms, glaring at Kevin. When I confronted them, my parents suggested I should work it out and continue supporting them financially. Because family. I put my phone away, looked directly at Kevin. "So yes, I'm taking the Sacramento job. I'm divorcing Amy, and I'm cutting ties with a family that thinks betrayal is acceptable if it benefits the favorite son." Kevin's face contorted. "You're enjoying this, aren't you? Saint Matt, the victim. You love having everyone pity you." I leaned in close. What I'd have loved was a brother who respected me, a wife who honored our vows, parents who didn't excuse infidelity. "She was lonely," Kevin shouted desperately. "You were never home." Dr. Patel stepped forward again. "Because he was working in COVID wards saving lives while you were sleeping with his wife." The room erupted in disgusted murmurs. I grabbed my jacket. "We're done here, forever." As I walked out, my colleagues parted like a sea, some patting my shoulder supportively. Behind me, I heard the bartender tell Kevin, "You need to leave, now." Outside in the cool night air, I took my first deep breath in days. No tears, no rage, just certainty. I'd given them nothing to use against me. No outbursts, no violence, just truth served cold in front of witnesses. The revenge wasn't in humiliating them, it was in reclaiming my dignity, on my terms. Sacramento is different from Cleveland. Palm trees instead of snow, year-round sunshine, no ghosts around every corner. It's been 6 months since I left, the divorce finalized faster than expected. Amy didn't contest anything once she realized I wasn't seeking revenge, just freedom. I gave her the house, she gave me my name back. The nursing staff at Sacramento General welcomed me without questions. Being the new guy meant no pitying looks, no whispered conversations that stopped when I entered the break room. Just respect for my work and experience. My small apartment near the hospital is sparsely furnished but mine. No memories lurk in these corners. I bought everything new, even my coffee mugs. Last month, Amy's mother Linda called me. The first contact from my old life in weeks. "I just wanted to check on you," she said tentatively. "I'm doing well," I replied, surprised to realize it was true. She hesitated before adding, "Amy and Kevin broke up. She's moving back home with us for a while." I felt nothing at this news. No satisfaction, no bitterness, just a calm acknowledgement. "I hope she finds peace," I said sincerely. "You're a good man, Matt," Linda's voice cracked. "We miss you." "I miss you too." My parents tried reaching out around Christmas, a card with a check inside, their standard gift. I donated the money to the hospital's COVID relief fund and sent a polite, brief response. Boundaries, not bridges. Kevin hasn't contacted me at all. Perhaps the last shred of respect he has left is honoring my silence. Sometimes colleagues invite me for drinks after shifts. Sometimes I go. I've even laughed again, genuine laughter that reaches my eyes. The first time it happened, I felt guilty. Then I remembered I don't owe my happiness to anyone's penance. I started running along the American River on my days off. 5 miles became 10. Soon I was training for a half marathon. Physical pain cleansed the emotional wounds. Last week, a pediatric nurse named Alicia asked me about Cleveland during a long overnight shift. "Family drama?" I said simply. "Needed a fresh start." She nodded, didn't pry. Later she brought me coffee. Black, no sugar, somehow knowing my preference without asking. "We all have chapters we don't read aloud," she said, her smile genuine but not flirtatious, just kind. "I'm not ready to date, may not be for a long time, but I'm ready for friendship, for connection without obligation." Yesterday, I received an email from Dr. Patel. The hospital in Cleveland is struggling with staffing. He asked if I'd consider coming back. Director of nursing position, substantial raise. I declined politely. Some doors stay closed. My life now is quieter, simpler. The betrayal no longer defines me, though it shaped the choices that led me here. I don't waste energy hating Amy or Kevin or my parents. I simply chose to stop giving them power over my peace. There's a strange strength in walking away, in refusing to play rigged games, in building something new rather than fighting to save something broken. I'm not healed, not completely, but I'm healing. On my terms, at my pace. And that's enough. Yesterday marked 1 year since I left Cleveland, 1 year of rebuilding, 1 year of peace. I was finishing paperwork when my office phone rang, an Ohio area code I didn't recognize. "Matt Rodriguez? This is Sharon Lewis from Cleveland Memorial Hospital Board." My stomach tightened. "Yes?" "I'll be direct. Dr. Patel suggested you for our new chief nursing officer position. It's a significant advancement from your current role." I almost laughed. "I appreciate the offer, but I'm not returning to Cleveland." "We're not asking you to," she replied. "We're expanding to Sacramento, opening a sister facility. We need someone who knows both cities and has impeccable credentials." My mind raced. Double the salary, executive-level position, and still in Sacramento. "I'd like to discuss this further," I said carefully. "Excellent. We'll fly you to headquarters next week for formal interviews." After hanging up, I sat back, stunned by the irony. The city I fled now offering me the career opportunity of a lifetime, without requiring my return. That evening, a text came from an unknown number. "Heard about the CNO offer. Congratulations. You deserve it. Amy." I stared at my phone, wondering who told her, wondering why she still tracked my career. I didn't respond. As I walked through Capitol Park that night, my phone buzzed again. An email from my lawyer. "Thought you should know, your former house in Cleveland sold today. As agreed in the divorce settlement, attached is your portion of the proceeds." The amount was substantial. Housing prices had jumped dramatically in the last year. I forwarded the email to a real estate agent I'd been consulting, ready to make an offer on that riverfront property. Sometimes justice isn't about revenge. Sometimes it's about living well while others live with their choices. Sometimes the universe balances accounts when you least expect it. And sometimes walking away is the only way to win. Has betrayal ever led you to a better life? Share your story in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey of resilience and redemption, please hit the like button and subscribe for more stories about how we navigate life's most challenging moments. I respond to every comment.